Now we get to treat you with a real special guest. He is Packers Super Bowl champion wide receiver James Jones, joining us now right here on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that is all. All smiles like always. Every time you see this man on TV, you see him on a podcast. Anytime you see him, the man is smiling. James Jones, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, my man. I like that little line right there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
You always got to smile, man, through everything, man. You know what I'm saying?
We got a guy that does our post-game shows after Brewers games. He's going into his 21st season. And at the end of every post-game show, he says, "Smile, Milwaukee, and the world will smile back." That's his tagline.
There it is right there. I love it.
Yep, that's it. Okay, so not a lot of smiling, not a lot of happiness from Packer fans after watching that Bears game. And the stat that blows my mind is you play the Bears 3 times, James Jones, 3 times. The Bears did not have one single offensive snap with the lead in 3 football games. And you only won one of them. Thank God for the interception by Keyshawn Nixon. You only won one of those 3. What does that say to you?
That says to me that we were a team this year that did not know how to finish football games. And finishing a football game is not something that happens overnight. It's something that happens over the course of the year. And that's why I said going into the playoffs, I wasn't extremely confident because we were not playing good football. We were not playing good football offensively. We were struggling stopping the run. We were not really playing good football defensively. And I wasn't really, really confident. Now, we started that game off really, really well. But I knew, like, man, we have to finish the game. But all year long, when you look at how the Green Bay Packers played all year long, we just did not know how to finish football games. And that's on everybody. I know everybody wants to say, man, LaFleur could have did this, did that. There's a lot of plays out there that the players did not make. You know, a little bit on the floor, a little bit on the players, and that's what equals not finishing football games, and you find ways to lose. And that was kind of, you know, the telltale of our season.
I said yesterday when we were talking that when you have the youngest roster in football now for 3 straight years or whatever, leadership comes from the head coach. I understand that. And some are more vocal out there, guys like Dan Campbell, the National Football League. But when you have a roster like this, I tend to look at it and go, hey, man, the key veterans on this team have to be the ones that step up and be those leaders. Kenny Clark was one of those guys that they then moved on from. Is it fair to point to the veterans and say, hey, man, you guys have got to kind of put foot in butt at certain moments in games when things seemingly are slipping away?
I mean, it's fair, but, you know, then again, when you look at the games, I mean, at the end of the day, you could talk as much as you want. You could rah-rah as much as you want. You could be a leader as much as you want. But at the end of the games, you got to make plays. You know, when you look at this football game, you got a 4th and 8. Keyshawn Nixon let the guy get behind him, and it's a special pass by Caleb Williams. Come on, man, that's a bat down. It's our ball. We kneel. We win the game. Then with all that said, we get the ball back, and you got a big-time drop by Reed, you know, to put us in, you know, position to score a touchdown with a timeout on the 25-yard line. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you got to make plays. The main reason why we won the Super Bowl in 2010 is because our quarterback was special. He was making plays, and all of us around him made plays when we needed to make plays, and that's what equals wins. And when you look at the times that we played the Chicago Bears, every time a play needed to be made besides the first meeting, the Bears made it. And now we are at home, frustrated, mad, and angry because we lost a game that we easily should have won.
As a player, you see Ben Johnson doing his little celebration, not backing down, stepping on it the next day in the press conference, refusing to go away from it. I call him the chameleon. You want to know why? Because George McCaskey or Michael McCaskey, the whole McCaskey family, the picker, whoever you want to talk about, they hate the Packers. And when they go through the interview process for GM or through coach, he brings all of this up every time. Like, you better beat the damn Packers. And now he is out there doing what the McCaskey family, I feel like, wants to do. And before you came out, it's like, okay, look, if they move from LaFleur, right? And if it's Mike Tomlin, who all of a sudden is now available, if it's they go get Robert Saleh, whatever, whoever it is that comes in my opinion, as a fan, and I don't know your feelings as a player, that coach has got to be able to handle business when dealing with a Ben Johnson.
Yeah, and number one, we're on the Packers side, so we absolutely hate everything about it. If I'm on the Bears side, I love everything about it. He's bringing the rivalry back into this rivalry. The Packers and the Bears have had heated rivalries. We do not like each other, especially when we step in between these lines.
Right.
Usually it's the coach saying, hey, man, it's just another game. We look forward to. Ben Johnson's like, nah, we don't like them dudes over there. And I'm going to let it be known we don't like them dudes. You seen this post-game speech, man. F them dudes. I love it if I'm a Chicago Bears fan, owner, player, because you're bringing the rivalry back. And as for the Packers, you got to understand, it's a rivalry now. They got good players. They got a good player. They got coaches. It's not just us dominating this rivalry. So, yes, I would love to see LaFleur stay, but whatever coach comes in there, he got to understand, hey, Ben Johnson don't like you, Caleb Williams don't like you, and we got to be able to handle business against the Bears. We can't let this keep happening.
Packers Super Bowl champion James Jones joins us here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. See Sparky Pfeiffer with you. And yes, all of you wanted to know if he's wearing a hoodie. Yes, he's wearing a hoodie. My goodness. Nobody cares more about what James Jones wears on a day-to-day basis than Packer fans. Okay, so let's talk about what has to happen next. Obviously, they have to be healthy. And David Bakhtiari was venting after that game of, man, they got figured out up there. Like every year, there's all these injuries, and we can't seem to get a year where this whole team is healthy. Like, in my opinion, you got Tucker Kraft, Micah Parsons. Those guys are healthy. They win that football game. I don't question it at all. But what's next? What do they have to figure out between now and next year with Matt LaFleur?
They got to figure out how to win the close games. And I don't know where you start with that, but we have to be at our best when the game is on the line. The last 3 years, when you look at this team under Coach LaFleur, when the game was on the line, close football games, we have not won those football games. Whether that be with Aaron Rodgers, whether that be with Jordan Love, we have not won the close football games when the close football games matter, especially in the big-time moments. We have to get better at that. Listen, every year the trainers get up there before the season starts and they say, man, whether you like it or not, people are going to get hurt. That's just the facts of the National Football League. And it's not just the Green Bay Packers. People are going to get hurt. You have to find ways to win even when those people get hurt. You're not going to have just a 100% healthy football team. And yes, it sucks when it's star players, but you're going to lose guys as the season goes on. When we won the Super Bowl, we had the most injuries in the National Football League. But we had to find a ways to make plays. And I think this football team needs to really look in the mirror, coaches included, and they need to find a way to be their best when their best is needed, and that's in the fourth quarter in close games to close games out. We have not been that in the last couple of years, and that's why we have not had the success we wanted, especially in the playoffs.
I'll tell you something that irritates me, and from a player perspective, you can be like, Sparky, you're nuts. But something that irritates me from Matt LaFleur is how many times have there been players hurt? And he's like, doctor cleared him. They wanted to play, so I sent him back out there. And then after a half, that player's back on the sidelines, can't go any farther. And then next week, we go and we do it again, right? I mean, Josh Jacobs, that was an ongoing thing all year. Zach Tom, the one game, after the game said, I don't even remember playing the second half. I was in so much pain, I blacked out and just kept playing. And I was losing my mind like, man, like we're early in the season, middle of the season. We do not need to be doing this. If it's a playoff game, okay, I understand. It just feels like, there's, crazy coach of screw you. We're going to do what I want to do. I don't want to hear the coach. Or I don't want to hear from the players. Then there's the exact opposite, which is whatever the players want to do. Another example, Josh Jacobs. I want to return kicks. Bisaccia goes to Matt LaFleur. Hey, Josh wants to return kicks. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Goes back, tells Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs goes up to Matt LaFleur. Hey, man, why won't you let me return kicks? Do you really want to do it? Yeah. All right, you can return kicks. I mean, come on, man. I'm just so frustrated by this because I feel like sometimes the coaches have to look out for the players when they're hurt and have a bigger picture of like, I know you want to play every game, man, but I need you for the end of the season. I need you for the playoffs, and maybe I got to sit you a game or two here in the middle of the season.
Yeah, this is a double-edged sword, and I understand your frustration, but it's a double-edged sword, and it's unfair to Coach LaFleur. I came back to Green Bay probably maybe early in the season, and I had my boys with me. And I had my two little sons with me, and I coached their football teams, right? And I'm always on them constantly about, dude, you got to be a dog, man. You got to be.
By the way, side note, that should be outlawed in this country. No NFL player should be able to coach their kids in any type of football. That should be a rule across the country. It's completely unfair. If I was coaching against you, I'd be like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this. Come on. But anyways, go ahead.
We are pretty good too. We're well coached.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
But I brought them there and I took them into the training room because I'm real cool with the doctors, Dr. McKenzie, Flea, Nate Dogg, all of them, right? And I'm always on them about being a dog and you got to play through injuries sometimes. And I'm like, dude, your dad never missed games. I said, and I was hurt a lot of them games. And the main reason why I'm telling you the story, because we walked in the training room and I said, Dr. McKenzie, tell my kids that no matter what, I never was going to miss games. And he said to my kids, he said, to be honest with you, your dad changed the way that I talk to people, because people will walk in here and be like, this hurt that. And he said, I would look and be like, James Jones will play through all of this. And the main reason why I'm telling you this story is because some players don't give a damn what the coach is talking about. As Josh Jacobs battling through injury, if LaFleur's like, hey, man, get him out, and Josh walks up to you and say, Coach, I'm going in, man. I want to play. I'm cool. I'm okay. It hurt a little bit, but I'm good. And I want to help the team win. It's tough as a coach to say, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if you have players like that, like no matter what, I may have blacked out, but I'm going out there. You're not taking me out of this football game, coach. It's tough for a coach to look at you in the eye and say, James, I'm taking you out. When I'm telling you, coach, I'm good. It hurt a little bit, but I'm good. I'm going to help my team win. It's tough. And the same way with the doctors. Now, you do get some players too, like, yeah, doc, whatever you say goes. I'll sit out. I've seen some of those players too, but I also seen a lot of players like, no, and there's nothing taking me out this game unless my leg is off, my arm is off, whatever's off. And that's tough on a coach to take you out. So I wouldn't put that on the floor. I understand what you're saying. Coach got to protect player, but at the end of the day, the player really makes the final decision, especially if you're a star player.
I have another one for you that I think you're perfect to talk about this.
I got answers.
Matthew Golden, right? I mean, you were there. You had your fair share of drop issues. Devontae had his fair share of drop issues. Matthew Golden didn't drop a ball, I don't think, in the entire training camp. Maybe one. But that was it. He was unbelievable. And then we get into the season, injuries, whatever, didn't matter. Still didn't get the opportunities. And again, outsider looking in, it's like, okay, well, either he's not running the routes the right way, he doesn't know the playbook. Like, there has to be more here. And then the last game is like, okay, your quarterback from college is throwing to you. Let's go have that game. And then he drops 2, and I'm like, my heart is like dying. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. But then he goes and has that big game at the end. They lost, yes. Huge motivation, I would think, going in the offseason and confidence. But that's got to be tough, man, to be a rookie and especially a first-round pick, which that does not happen in Green Bay, and then not to get the balls that you thought you were going to get.
Yeah, this one, I'm kind of with you on this one. This one is extremely frustrating, and I really don't have the answers to this one. Matthew Golden is a special talent that we drafted in the first round. Like, a special talent that we drafted in the first round. And for me, I'm out there watching the games, and I'm like, it has to be something that he's not doing in practice. Because when I see Bo Milton, who's going from defense to offense, from offense to defense, getting more opportunities in the game as a pass catcher than Matthew Golden, I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, there has to be a way we can get this young fella involved. He has speed. He has route running. He has playmaking ability. Why is he not involved in the game plan? Is he not showing you something in practice? Does he not know the plays? It's absolutely something else to this, because when you watch that last game against the Chicago Bears and you see the explosiveness and you see the playmaking, how does this guy not have opportunities all year long? So if Coach LaFleur was on this show, I would ask him, what did Matthew Golden show you for you not to give him opportunities during the season? Because we see lightning in the bottle. We see special talent. And we see guys like Bo Milton and these other guys getting more opportunities than him to make plays. I want answers to this question, too. I really don't know that. But it is very, very good to see him make plays, because going into the offseason, hopefully Coach LaFleur and those guys will get him involved more next year.
And LaFleur was all like jumping up on him and all excited for him when he had the touchdown, and he was celebrating with him. But again, there's got to be something else here. James Jones, Packers Super Bowl champion wide receiver, joining us here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's with me, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Offensive line. They made a decision last year in the offseason that they were going to go Philly. They were going to get bigger and more physical. So they go out and spend all that money on Banks. Then they draft Belton, Escalade there in the second round. And Mason Crosby and I were at Potawatomi Sportsbook doing the second and third round. We were doing like Packers trivia, giving away stuff, whatever else. They make the Belton pick, and we're both like, okay, they've decided that they're going to kind of flip and change this offensive line a little bit to push people around, run the ball more maybe than they have in the past. It clearly did not work out the way everybody expected this offseason. If you're the Packers, do you continue to push that direction, or do you have second thoughts?
No, you got to continue to push that direction, man. When we watch the National Football League right now, the games is won in the trenches. It don't matter what you really have on the outside. The games is won in the trenches. Obviously, we battled some injuries in the trenches, losing some offensive linemen, losing Wyatt and all that up front. But we got to make sure that in these trenches, man, we are ready to go. We have the playmakers on the outside. We have the running back. We obviously have the quarterback. We got to make sure we're set in these trenches. It was tough for us to run the football all year long. Josh Jacobs was getting hit in the backfield before he can even get started. So that's where you got to start, because you have a lot of these youngsters, skill position-wise, under contract. So start with that offensive line, beefing that offensive line up, making sure you should get some chemistry at that offensive line, because if we're able to run the ball well with the pass catchers we got with the quarterback, man, this offense will be unstoppable. But it starts in the trenches, man, and this is a wide receiver talking to you. And I always knew, man, when we win the games and our O-line was banged up and we playing against DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller, I'm like, oh, shoot. You know what I mean? Like, you got confidence in them, but, you know, the ball going to have to come out of the quarterback's hands fast. But it starts in them trenches.
I got two questions left. You play wide receiver, which means you've played against cornerbacks. When Micah Parsons was in there, cornerbacks didn't look as bad. When Micah Parsons was in there, Carrington Valentine was grading higher than Keyshawn Nixon. If you care about Pro Football Focus or whatever those grading systems are, fine. Micah Parsons goes out, and now both get exposed. Carrington Valentine maybe more even so than Keyshawn Nixon. Going into next year, are you looking at replacing both, or you're looking at replacing one? I think the draft, you have to use the draft. They don't got a lot of money, so I think you have to at least try to address it in the draft.
We got to get a corner. And we got to get a corner in free agency, and we got to get a corner in the first round. I love Keyshawn.
Second round. We don't have a first round pick. Remember?
Second round.
Yeah, second round. Yeah.
Traded for Micah Parsons. But I like Keyshawn Nixon. Keyshawn Nixon is an extremely good athlete. I think he's a phenomenal corner. I think he'll be fine. You'll get Micah Parsons back. I think the pass rush will be there. But we need another lockdown corner. This is a passing league that we are in. I know teams want to run the ball, and I just told you in the trenches and all that. But at the end of the day, this is a passing league. And if you're not able to stop the pass, and you don't have dudes that can lock down and play man-to-man and really get after receivers, it's going to be tough. You watched the Houston Texans last night. Them dudes can lock down at the cornerback spot. And I understand they have pass rushers, but they have dudes that can absolutely cover. We have to address the secondary. We have to be able to cover. If not, it is going to be a long season trying to stop the pass, because you're not always going to get home. So second round, free agency, we have to go out there and we got to address the cornerback position, and we got to get some corners that can be able to lock down and strap down.
This is pretty good. You and I agree on quite a bit on this show. This is really good, James. I got one more for you. So on this Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, we have John Kuhn that does 9 to noon every day with Rami Makaloff, Bears fan. That's oof. Noon to 2 is Mason Crosby's show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, and then our show here 2 to 5 with myself. I yesterday, Tommy Wirtz, who is a producer on that show, straight up asked Mason Crosby, and it went viral and went crazy yesterday. Would you want to be a special teams coordinator, in the National Football League if somebody wanted you to do that? He said, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So on YouTube, they want me to ask you, James Jones, would you want to come back to coach receivers?
Absolutely. I think that I could be the best receiver coach in the land, man. I truly believe that. The way I teach, the way I coach, the way I motivate, I think I could be the best receiver coach in the land. Now, give me a year or two once my kids, kind of get going. But absolutely, man, I think I would love to come back and be able to coach in the National Football League and coach the receivers, man, and be able to, make some of these young fellas great, man. So if the Packers ever need me in a couple years, man, I'm there. I'm down to ride out, and I'm down to coach the White House.
Yeah, after he wins every national title with his kids. I lied. I got one more after you said that, because that's you, that's Crosby. So all you cats come back to be position coaches, coordinators. Who's your head coach from those former players?
Ooh, that's a good question, man. That is a good question. If I had to pick a head coach out of the former players that I played with, And I'm not gonna go with quarterback, because they always think the quarterbacks is the smartest and all that type stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with an offensive lineman, and I'm gonna say TJ Lang. I will put TJ
Oh,
the head
okay.
coach. We'll have a tough mindset. Our offensive line will be legit. We'll have the ground and pound mindset, but we'll also have the skilled players and those guys to go to work. But TJ will lead us in the right direction for sure.
I love that choice. We used to have TJ Lang out all the time. I love TJ Lang. So I love that one. James Jones, anything you want to promote on the way out, man? I always let people shout out whatever they want.
Man, I ain't got nothing to shout out, man.
Really? You're not selling tickets to come watch your kids play football or nothing like that?
Oh, man. I'm out here in Arizona, man, in La La Land, man. So if you're ever out here in the sunny side, just let me know. We got some things for you to do. But
hey, spring training, man. We got to get you hooked up with the Brewers. Throw out first pitch at a spring training game or something.
Man, let me know. I'm here, man, and I got an arm too now.
Oh no, don't do that. People embarrass themselves, man. Just because you play football, don't mean you can throw a baseball.
Hey, man. I'm all purpose over here, man. All purpose. I do it all.
I like it. There he is, James Jones, joining us on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Thank you so much, man. Hope to do it again. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me, man. Anytime.